Welcome to Dolly Talk. This is Dolly. Yes, today is the day we get to hear from the lovely Taversia Borelli. She is kind of back in court. We'll get into the actual hearing. But we're also going to do a look back at the previous hearings, including some videos she's done talking about the whole process. So if you aren't too familiar with this, you'll be able to experience her in all her glory, if you will. Brad. Oh, I'm sure he would. We're going to need J-Rock for this. Yes, I'm sure he would enjoy it. Hello, Lexi. Katie, how are you? Rachel. Terry, good to see you here. She has very strong confidence. So, first, I'm going to bring in my wonderful co-host. Hello. That's not Taversia.
Wrong way.
Wrong side, yeah. There.
How about we do this?
There we go.
Wrong way. Hang on.
We'll get it eventually.
God, it's so off-putting when it's around the wrong way to start off with.
I know.
Why did you do that?
I'm sorry. Already yelled at.
Pudding Way's here. Hello. Pudding Way. Hey, Katie. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Lexi. Hi.
So,
All my favorite people are here.
So I'm going to introduce you to her now. Let's see if we can make it a little
I'm
bit.
going to like this person.
I'm sure you'll love her. She's just delightful. See?
What?
Ah, there goes her glasses. Yes. That poor dog. Want to go back to that?
No. What the hell was that?
That's our heroine.
Okay, so, like, TikTok needs to be banned again.
It would be a good idea. I'm starting to see their point. Hey, Johnny, and Half Irish is here.
Johnny on the spot.
So we've got a few videos of hers.
Is Hella okay? Hella hasn't seen this person before yet. So I'm just like, what's the big deal? What's going on with this?
So I don't have I've seen it before, but I couldn't find the full first hearing. But good news though. Taversia watches it while she's waiting to do her second hearing.
Okay, so can you give me a little bit of background here? Like, why is she even in court at all?
You're right.
See, this is why we're here, right?
Basically, Taversia rents a house in Michigan. From let me pull up the parties here. Can you see that? No,
We
you
can't see anything because you're doing a Sean.
Thank you. I was going to check.
Oh, were you?
So we got four people. Jared Lepic, plaintiff. Jordan Lepic, the wife.
Yeah. Hello, Ina.
Hey. All right. And then we have the defendants. Defendant one, Andrew Elliott. Supposedly her partner. And then we have that fine specimen of a woman, Taversia Borelli, that we just saw dancing. They rented a place. It was supposed to be like a rent-to-buy type situation. Mm-hmm. And they started paying, it was like I thought it was 5,000, but they said in a video I was researching for the stream, they said 7,000 a month.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a big house. They had people there, like renting it from them, paying them money.
Okay, so it was big enough to have like
A bunch of people.
subtenants.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched the one where her landlady cried about no rent being received. Yes.
Hey, Terry.
She is quite insufferable. In my opinion. Just my opinion.
Well,
Anyways.
you wouldn't be very happy if you had someone in your property and they're not paying rent and you can't do much about it. You have to go to court.
So they start the process to evict them. They change the locks, which was not allowed at the time because they were still technically tenants, even though they weren't paying. So Michigan can fine them 3 times what it costs to come in and rekey the house. So they have kind of a countersuit going. The amount the plaintiff is suing is about $15,000. So it's a pretty big amount.
Is that just for lost rent, or is it
Most of it's rent.
the cost of having to get somebody else in?
No, they just got them out at the end of last month.
Yeah.
So they're gone now, today. I mean, as of today.
Is there damage to the place?
They did not say today.
Right.
So they also were charging late fees that seemed to be a little high. So they gave Taversia some ammunition to kind of use against them and be more insufferable. So it kind of devolves into a very... Both sides are not very well prepared at handling. Now, the plaintiff in the trial today did hire an attorney finally. So they actually
the plaintiff
had
didn't
counsel.
have an attorney to start off
Before,
with.
no.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. Neither side did. So the plaintiff's attorney kind of does some interesting moves, which we'll get into. But right now... More like she said, it said.
What they said? Who said? What said?
And I don't even know if she's transgender or not. I do know that she's supposedly involved in that community, Taversia, but they also get really pissed at her too, because she kind of doesn't take it very seriously. What?
Spread. It's funny. Sorry.
I don't know if they've trashed it. I don't think they did too much, but Transversia.
Yeah, I thought, well, when I saw it, I thought it was Traversia, like traversing something. But
Taversia.
it's Taversia.
Yes. I misspelled it when I first put the stream up. I mean,
Whatever.
It doesn't really matter.
I'm sure that's her given name.
Yeah. I actually think it is her first name.
Dolly.
Or no, her second.
Ilya.
Yes,
No one
dear.
names their child Taversia.
If she could have conversation with anybody in the world, it would be Lenin. She's a lovely individual.
Okay. Let's get this done.
Hey, Sneaky Pete. Good to see you here.
Hello, Sneaky Pete.
All right. So we played the video of her dancing. Now we're going to play her watching the first video. It's kind of the same artistic masterpiece of like Shia LaBeouf watching all of his movies back to back. Just not at all that way. Are you excited? I'm excited.
No, I,
Okay. Well, I was trying to get fancy here. I wish I could get it bigger, phrasing, but I'm having issues presenting it, so
it's fine.
frankly, I don't want to see it much bigger because she's eating cheese balls, man-spreading, and doing what she does. This video is only 3 minutes, guys. Maybe. No, yes.
How much are you requesting in rent?
$21,285.
How much is monthly rent?
$5,000 with a late fee of $1,000 not paid after the first, $2,000 late fee not paid after the seventh.
Okay, I can tell you right now, those late fees.
Oh, good. You're feeding your dog cheese balls. Also, this is how she came to court the second time. Well, and I mean, she appeared virtually, but she appeared at the storage locker place, at the self-storage place, on Zoom, making sure that's in the background, of course, to show that she's trying to leave. And yeah, and then I guess she's, before the hearing, she's watching her first one. Isn't she lovely?
No. Keep going.
Fees are illegal.
Yeah. Bye.
That is in our lease.
I understand it's in your lease. I'm trying to let you know as gently as I can right now that I'm not enforcing that late fee.
They had purchased a home and the house sale fell through 2 days before we went into closing. We drew up a lease based off of them purchasing the home. They just stopped paying. And now
How much do they owe in rent?
$5,000 for 4 months. So that would be a total of $20,000.
We're asking that February be paid since our lease was a 4-month term.
So I can do nothing with February because February's not due. That's the first thing.
We'll be out by the 1st.
1 week
Are
later.
you moving out?
Yes, we've returned the key. I have a couple of friends currently helping me move out the remaining things.
that her
I'm
voice?
actually at the U-Haul Center right now.
How much do
Yeah.
you think you owe?
So we owe December and January. That's $10,000. We paid a $1,000 late fee in November.
Okay, she covers both hearings here. We'll get to the end and
Can
then
I
play
just say that Zoom court has ruined the judicial system? Right? People have
yeah.
no respect for court anymore.
Well, I thought
None.
her cat ears were kind of respectful.
Okay. People just fucking turn up for court in their bed, in their pajamas. People are sitting there waiting for court, taking their clothes off and freaking feeding their animals, and they're driving, and they're just. What? It used to be that you'd turn up for court, you'd have nice clothes on, you'd wait quietly, or you'd be in contempt of court. Right? Whereas since Zoom court happened, people are just freaking
Yeah.
getting their tits out and wiping their nose, and you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous. Why is it allowed?
I mean-
Why are judges putting up with it? Like, they should be chucking people out. They should be going remove, and they should be done for contempt immediately. Doing their makeup.
Oh,
Like,
we
that's
saw
not
that-
even the worst, but it's pretty bad.
Oh, we saw that
Right,
with a
the-
lawyer the other day.
Well, yeah, exactly. Lawyers, they should be in trouble for that shit. Right? It's completely against the
Yeah.
rules of what we've all come to respect in the court system. calling themselves Buttfucker 3000.
Although that was a mistake on his part. It was
Too bad.
But yeah.
Too
it's-
bad. Right?
You
You
need
come
to-
into a real court and call yourself Buttfucker 3000, you're in
Yeah.
contempt of court. Right? It's like, I did a Zoom stream once and someone did that and they called themselves my shit.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, my shit's trying to come into court. Wow,
Yeah.
and then he tried again and he came back in as my shit. This is ridiculous. Like, people need to respect the court, whether they're there
Yep.
as virtual or whether they're there in person. So I just don't understand why judges put up with it. They should throw people out. If they're not dressed for court, if they're not there showing respect for the court, then you can throw people out of Zoom.
Oh yeah.
It's
And
very
hold them
easy.
in contempt if they're
Yeah.
in the same state.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Sorry,
play.
that was my rant. I just I
it's okay.
can't. I just can't believe what people are putting up with.
Okay, so we're gonna start the second hearing. It goes a little bit longer than her little video. It includes more than she had.
Is it Burrell?
Taversia Borelli.
Okay, sorry.
That's
All right. Okay, what are we doing on this case?
Oh, she has
Last
600,000
week, sir, you
followers.
had asked
Oh,
if
yeah.
they
She's huge on TikTok.
Oh, she's huge, is she?
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, 603.4 thousand followers on TikTok.
Oh, she's no gin kid.
No.
No.
I mean, hopefully it ends up the same way, but. Anyways.
be out of the house before the hearing today. And as of right now, they're still moving stuff out of the property. There's still people on property, including a couple of unauthorized additional roommates that weren't included in the lease. And we have yet to get in contact with Mr. Elliott. He is the named person on our.
And Mr. Elliott is, the named person on their lease who they've not been able to get into contact with. He's always sick, according to her TikTok. And I don't even know if he's exists.
Maybe
be
he has
honest.
monkeypox.
With her. Yeah. I don't know. All I'm saying is I've not seen any proof that this partner of hers exists. So I don't know.
Lease. So we would just like to see what his status is. We haven't heard from him since the 7th. And the last thing we received from him in writing was an email admitting to the debt owed and the wrongdoing on his part, stating that he can provide the court of a copy with this email. In his own words, he states, "We will obviously not refute what you are owed. We have no intention to. We would honor the court decision of the debt, which would additionally include legal fees. Given our contract is under the laws of Michigan, there is very little that can be garnished as the bulk of my earnings are earned as independent contractor." In this email, he proposed a payment plan that we were uncomfortable with agreeing to because he's offered us specific payment arrangements over the last.
Can I stop you, please?
Absolutely.
And Judge Simpson is just thrilled.
All right.
He seemed to be enjoying
How
himself,
much are
actually.
you claiming is owed?
So as of right now, he owes $15,000 plus court costs of $234.43. If I may, could I give you like 90
Just
seconds of
bucks.
backstory, sir?
Not really.
Okay.
Your Honor,
I
if
don't
may.
know that I'm necessarily
I
going to
missed
need
that.
it.
Okay. Okay. Give you like 90 seconds. If I may, could I give you like 90 seconds of backstory, sir?
Not really.
Okay.
Your Honor,
I
if
don't
may.
know that I'm necessarily going to need it.
Okay.
Ma'am, are you moving out?
Yes, we've returned the key. I have a couple of friends currently helping me move out the remaining things. I'm actually at the U-Haul Center right now, and they are getting the rest of that.
And did you know I'm at the U-Haul Center? Can you tell if you look over my shoulder? It's a storage place. It's used for storing like furniture if you're moving out. This is not subtle at all.
Items out presently under the supervision
The color
of
matches her
the
eyes.
land manager.
Okay. So, and ma'am, are you disputing the amount they're claiming is owed?
I am.
You are?
Yes, I am. We
Okay.
owe.
How much do you think you owe?
So we owe December and January. That's $10,000. We paid a $1,000 late fee in November and a $2,000 late fee in September and October. We believe that these should be subtracted from the total owed due to illegality of those fees. Also, we were.
How much is monthly rent?
Your Honor, monthly
5,000.
rent is $5,000 a month. This is a 4,000 square foot house that we were under contract for them to purchase, and we have done a series of short-term leases as they were waiting on the city.
Okay, so here's the thing. Is she right about, she just listed off, I think, $4,000 of late fees that they paid?
No, sir, that is incorrect. Those were from the previous lease. See, at first we did a 60-day lease, and then we extended that once their house was not sold. So we have 2 prior leases to this short-term lease, and we only enforce late fees on one of the months under those leases. And I can submit documentation of all this, sir.
So can I.
All right.
I do have claims that ACHs were sent that were never received to my account, sir, as well as proof of funds that I received in December and no payment was made out of that. The last communication I had about a payment arrangement was on December 13th, and I was informed by Mr. Elliott that day that his wife had sent an ACH. However,
Okay, look, folks. Oh, ma'am.
Yes.
Here's what's going to happen. What date are you going to be out of the premises?
We're already out.
Your stuff
You're
is still
already out.
Right.
Your stuff-
And they have surrendered the
It's in the
keys?
yes.
Don't
And
talk over one another.
So she says she's already out. She's already moved out.
Oh, we know you're out, lady.
Well, and given up the keys, except her friends and stuff is still there. They're still in the process of moving everything out while she's already moved out.
Okay, there's out and there's out, right? So there's out like I've given the keys back to
And
the owners and it's
taken-
clean and you can go rent it to somebody else. Or perhaps she's thinking about out like in the more sort of mystical sense. So, you know, she's metaphysically out. She's perhaps living somewhere else, but her stuff's there.
Yeah.
And she's got other people there, but she lives somewhere else, which is no good to the plaintiff. Really,
Yeah.
a few fries short of a happy meal. Spiritually moved out. Yeah, right, Johnny. So hang on, can I get this straight? The plaintiff is actually the landlord. Like, it's not an attorney. That's the landlord.
Yeah. That's
She's
Jordan.
doing really well.
She breaks down in a moment
Oh,
because, I mean, yeah, she did for a while. And then, like, she's behind on the mortgage. She's about to, like, have the house foreclosed on her.
Oh.
She can't afford to pay the person who manages the property.
I see.
This is, like, really screwed her over
That's fair.
financially.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Taversia, being the kind, sympathetic, gentle soul that she is, well, we'll see how she responds to that.
Okay, all right. So I almost thought she was an attorney. She was doing so well.
She does. She holds it together well until she kind of
Yeah.
breaks. But she's under a ton of stress, so.
Yeah.
it's in the process of being removed as we speak.
Personally, I don't, see what's so stressful about dealing with Taversia Borelli, but that's just me. Oh, might help if I hit play.
Your stuff
You're
is still
already out.
Right.
Your stuff-
And they have surrendered the
It's in the
keys?
yes, and it's in the process of being removed as we speak. So we are out. it'll be another hour or two, I think, before it's all of our stuff is gone.
So then the only issue is what's owed.
Right. I also want to bring up, if I may, Your Honor, we were subjected to a wrongful lockout, so we are
Poor
due
thing.
3 times damages of the $150 for a locksmith as outlined in Michigan's anti-lockout statute, totaling $450, which I also have evidence of.
Okay. All right,
Your
look,
Honor.
folks.
Your Honor, I'm
Yes.
in my house because they failed to pay rent. I have 6 children. These people make $350,000 a year is what they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They have money. They had subletters or whoever living with them, and I don't know if they were running a homeless shelter, if they were pocketing the rent that their roommates paid. They've
No.
just
This
been
is
sitting
shit.
in my house, sir.
This is incorrect.
Okay. All
Well,
right.
hang on. Who
So,
are you to say that's
Here's
incorrect?
the thing.
Unless she's saying incorrect about them being homeless, I don't know.
You bitch. Give her her money and get the hell out of there.
I can see how people around Taversia Borelli could be mistaken for being homeless, though. I'm sure her friends are not the most hygienic of individuals, let's say.
Maybe not, but they're not paying the goddamn rent. They need to get the hell out.
Yep.
Now.
Yep. And she is. Well, after this, we'll play the video, but.
Yeah.
Possession has been granted. There are 2 parts to the case. Possession's been granted or surrendered to the plaintiff. So possession is not,
Sorry.
pardon?
There are still people at the house. One of them had a residence established there apparently. They're still at the house, and unfortunately our property manager expired at noon today, as it is the last day of the month. So any clean out of anything left behind, I'm going to have to go assess.
Not like
Expired.
He didn't die. Like, yeah, it sounded kind of like he,
That
died.
sounds like this.
So it was just the contract that she had for it because they couldn't afford to pay for it.
For any damages left on my own next week.
All right. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. They've surrendered possession of the unit. Ma'am, to your knowledge, are there people in the premises?
Yes, there
Ms.
is.
Burrell, are there people still in the premises?
I don't know. I would have to text them. I don't know if they're on the premises presently, but we were told that we could get the remainder of.
I don't know if they're on the premises technically. Maybe their spiritual energy is just residing there after their physical being has left. I would have to text them to find out. Ugh.
The items out. So they would be doing that if they are not presently at the U-Haul Center where I am now. I'm just
So
using
here's
my
what I'm
phone
going
to
to
do
do.
this.
Possession to the premises has been surrendered. Ma'am, as of, given everything that I'm hearing, your management contract expires, what, at midnight tonight? Is that the deal, or?
Yeah, yes. And we can't afford to pay
All
a
right.
property manager anymore.
Hang on, I hear you. I'm just trying to, because you're in North Carolina, right?
Yes, sir. But I will have to make
Okay.
a trip up to North Carolina to assess anything.
I know. I guess you're out of state. You've got a property manager here that won't be the property manager tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
So what? I should let you guys talk and then I'll just go back and then come back out. Because either you're going to listen to me or not. Possession's been surrendered. I'm going to give the authority, I'm going to grant to the plaintiff the authority to prevent waste under 4.201I, that you may lock and secure the premises effective 3:00 today. The reason I'm doing that is so that you can get your property manager, go over there. You can order a locksmith, you can change the locks at 3 p.m. today. Whatever else needs to get out, if you don't get it out by that time, you said you surrendered, you're giving them the keys, they giving you grace to get some of the stuff out. If it's not out, not out.
That's
But the
perfectly fine, Your
premises
Honor.
will be locked.
Thank you.
Then the issue regarding the money is going to have to be done. Now, I might as well, because the parties don't seem to agree, set this matter for trial. You have to come up next week. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so trying to time this, if you come up, how long are you going to be up here?
Very short amount of time, sir, as I have children in North Carolina in school. So a day.
Okay.
Enough.
So if I set, well, I was just going to set this for a trial. So I can set a trial date, but I'm going to need the parties in person because apparently there's going to be a lot of documentation. So I'm trying to set it. So here's what I'll do. Because we're really talking about the money, but we got to get the premises secured
Taversia is so
first.
excited.
we
She gets
dealt
to get
with
dressed
that.
up and go to court.
What's my date?
Or does she?
It's a big
So
break
what I'm
for her
going to do is
channel.
I'm going to set a non-jury trial as
She's a little-
to the
well,
money
we'll see.
issues
There's a plot twist coming.
for March 11th, 2025 at 9 a.m. That's in person. So I've tried to set that, ma'am, I tried to set it out far enough so that you could make arrangements or do what needs to be done to come up. We'll hear it that day. So if it has to be a one-day trip, it's a one-day trip. But I've just tried to put it out to, well, I think you get what I'm saying. Okay?
Absolutely.
But I'm allowing you to secure the premises. You're going to come up here, check on it. That way you can assess what damages or other things there may be there. Bring ledgers, all other documentation you want the court to look at on March 11th, and then we'll hear your case. Okay?
Your Honor, might I ask one question?
Sure.
Rather than pushing it out, I can make arrangements. I will make it work. Like I said, we're actually going into a 90-day foreclosure period tomorrow. And so time is kind of essence.
Got it. Then the best I could do is the 18th. What day? Yeah. The best I could then do is February 18th. I can push it up to that date. Will that be better for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
So non-jury trial in this matter then will be set for February 18th, 2025, 9 a.m. Okay?
And one more question. Will Mr. Lepek have to appear as well, or will me be appearing sufficient just because he can't afford time off of work right now?
Well, he might want to have himself, if you're here, he may want to have himself, I will allow understanding childcare, work, those things. I would allow him to appear via Zoom.
Thank you. And as far as Mr.
So that he's present, but you will have to be here in person.
Understood. And Mr. Elliott?
He needs to appear. If he doesn't appear, then I do what I got to do.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
Mr.
may I
Elliott-
ask a question?
Her partner.
Sure.
My partner might not be able to get off work either, but I can show up. Is that a problem?
I will give you the same. Okay.
Okay, so Taversia has just told the court and the plaintiff that she wants to show up because her partner can't.
We'll give you the same opportunities that I give the other side in fairness. So you
Thank you.
may appear, but he would have to be available via Zoom.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So, does this guy even exist? That's a very good question. There have been several people who have asked that very question as well. I do not know. If not, then she would have had to have committed fraud by signing the lease and everything. But it's every time he's needed, he's not available. So, but he's supposed to be here. There was a plot twist, though, coming. So that hearing was on January 31st. Now, so let's go to the events. I tried to get the documents today, but the clerk has not responded yet. So February 7th, 2025, year of our Lord, a dismissal was filed for the second defendant, Taversia Borelli. She was dismissed from the lawsuit. You're muted.
Really?
Yeah, now you're good.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so she was dismissed, but her partner is still being sued. So now, well, why? Now, I mean, personally, for me, for my audience, for all of us, the entertainment of watching her go to trial, I'm really disappointed. And frankly, everything I get excited for to stream ends up just going to shit. It doesn't matter what it is.
You gotta not get excited about it.
Doesn't if I prepare for anything stream related, it just does not happen. So I've learned to put in very little effort because it ends up being just a waste of time otherwise. She does appear, though, in the subsequent, in today's hearing. She does appear. Why does she was on the lease. Well, this was very clever maneuvering. The plaintiff ended up hiring a lawyer around this time. She told the court at that hearing just now, the second hearing, she would be there, but her boyfriend or partner, life partner, whatever, imaginary friend, had to work and couldn't be there or could only be on Zoom. So by dismissing her, they now put pressure on the partner and force him to now have to take time off work or to show up, causing a lot of issues for him. So it was pretty clever, I think. But she gets kind of pissy about it in a TikTok video. So we are going to show this one next. So she gets the notice of dismissal by plaintiff, and she has all the evidence, by the way. So, yes. This lovely, lovely feminine woman. Yes. Trial is still on the 18th versus my partner who is tied up with work. This was strategic.
This was strategic.
Yeah.
That he was tied up with work.
No, that they dismissed her from the suit, forcing the partner who was tied up. Sorry, Pete, I was louder than I intended. So they forced him to have to like miss work and show up to court, or get the defaulted, and then the plaintiff wins if they don't show up to court.
It's important enough you'll show up to court. Sorry.
Well, we'll see.
He owes money.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
So we got this video, about 5 minutes of this, of the heroine of our story.
filters
Talking
are
about
good,
the
aren't they?
process. I know. Look at her lips. Don't you just want to kiss them?
No. Are you all right, Ilya? You sure? Are you okay? Do you think you want to tell me?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
It wasn't important. Yeah, great move. Wasn't important enough to show up the first time, right?
You're lucky David's not here to clip you.
Oh, God.
Okay, so here's the tea. I was being sued for over $20,000 of unpaid rent for a 4-month lease, and I've had thousands of people crawling on my page just looking to know what's going on. So, hi, my name is Taversia. It's nice to meet you. And this
Hi.
is the landlord's notice to dismiss me as a defendant in the case as of yesterday. Now, you really should ask yourself, if you're not an intellectually dishonest person, why would they want me dismissed if I did them so dirty? They were the ones who went to such great lengths to make this public, going so far as to dox my partner's full legal name, taunting with how does it feel to be evicted before the first court hearing where the judge is supposed to rule on things like that. That's how I know it was them, which was a narrative of eviction they made sure was public, as if they went through the correct legal proceedings to evict in the first place. They didn't, and couldn't, because I was out when we agreed I would be. Do you see where it says, feel free to take the month to prepare?
Okay, your partner's full legal name is the name that is on the documents. So they're not doxing him, if it's a him.
It's a court document. Yeah,
It's a court document. It has his name on it. Unless it's under seal, which I see no reason why it should be under seal. He's an adult.
Yeah.
They ain't doxing him.
Nope.
His name is available. It's out there. Unless you're in Indiana, where, you know, you can't get a hold of a goddamn court document, like you need to give your firstborn over,
Yep.
right? The documents are available. You can get hold of them. It's not doxing, you silly cow.
Prepare to move. My partner and I willfully surrendered possession as acknowledged by Judge Simpson.
Possession's been surrendered to the plaintiff.
Was it wrong to withhold rent? I j'ignore. It felt like the only option to
I
me.
should know.
We were subjected to a wrongful lockout, so we are due 3 times damages of the $150 for a locksmith as outlined in Michigan's anti-lockout statute, totaling $450, which I also have evidence of.
Okay.
They were pocketing the rent that
You
their
live in
roommates paid.
Indiana?
See the way they cut it? This is court nerds
so
on the
sorry.
narrative so they could call me a subletting squatter.
I have evidence of.
Let's play the full footage.
Okay. All
It's
right.
actually really pretty there, it looks like.
Your Honor, I'm
Yes.
going to my house because they failed to pay rent. I have 6 children. These people make $350,000
Oh, you
a year is what
bitch.
they claimed on the rental application. I'm going to lose health insurance tomorrow, and my house is going into a foreclosure period as of tomorrow is 90 days late. They have money. They had subletters or whoever living with them, and I don't know if they were running a
That's, yeah, her music she added, making fun of the plaintiff.
The plaintiff who you owe money to, you bitch.
Yep.
And she's about to lose her house
Yep.
because of you not paying your rent.
Yeah.
And you got 600,000 followers on TikTok, and you've got thousands of people who are in your TikTok making comments. You're making money on there, bitch.
Yep.
Fucking hell. Sorry.
homeless shelter if they were pocketing the rent that their roommates paid.
See how the proof is like her tears because there's none of it and there's only assumptions?
So
Well, you don't deny any of it, Princess.
Here's the thing. Possession has been granted. There are two parts to the case.
And that's because they wanted 21,000 goddamn dollars for 4 months rent when we only owed 2. So for December and January, we withheld rent because rent was $7,000. After they applied predatory and what we later learned to be illegal late fees, totaling an extra $2,000 on top of the $5,000 which was due every month. And we were late almost every month we stayed there because these landlords were unwilling to work with us and our pay schedules.
She just admitted they were late every month they stayed there because they were unwilling to work with their pay schedules. They don't have to work with your pay schedules, sweetheart.
I wasn't aware you had flexibility on when you pay your mortgage.
No,
or rent.
they were unwilling to work with our pay schedules. They don't have to. You signed a contract at the beginning that said that that was the date that you're supposed to pay the rent. They don't have to work with your pay schedules.
Nope.
Fuck you.
But
Fuck you.
she's a very friendly with communism and that
Maybe.
ideology.
Late fees are usually... Yeah, look,
Yeah,
if the late fees weren't allowed, then Judge Simpson would have said...
Oh, he did.
He said...
I think it was in the first hearing. Yeah, he dismissed the late fees.
He dismissed them, as
Yeah,
in...
'cause they were too high.
Oh, they were too high. Okay.
Yeah, they
Fine.
charged too much late fee, which unfortunately gave her even more ammunition to use as a victim, and I'm entitled. Me.
She still didn't pay a goddamn rent.
No.
Also, sometimes we wanted to eat. So you're in my red bottoms. You don't know what they're doing is
Nar.
illegal before the judge tells you, and you've already paid a whole month's rent just in late fees, on top of what you're already paying. You can either just about always not have enough food, or you can put what you have toward moving out of there. That's what we did. I agreed in court we owed $10,000 for 2 months minus the thousands of dollars we paid in late fees, and minus 3 times the cost of a locksmith after they subjected us to a wrongful lockout, which I said I had evidence of. And their next legal move was to dismiss me from court as their defendant. Interesting. Well, since you guys wanted this so public, maybe we should also address how you lied to the police about what Judge Simpson said so they'd come knocking on the door during hours you knew I would be working.
Surrender keys to the Olympics at that point.
At that point.
I would interpret that the same way as that you were to be out by the 31st.
By the 31st.
Which is your next court date.
Right.
And you'll turn over the keys at that point.
Right.
Okay.
And he said, the judge said immediately, no, he didn't. I was there. I was there.
Okay. All right.
Poor officer.
Do you have an ID on you?
Looks an awful lot like trying to use a police officer for intimidation through false pretenses. Wouldn't you say?
I have no idea what I would say in that clipped out little segment there.
Tiny little segment, yeah. Context, please.
Maybe we should also address how you refused to give me a new key during any other time but when I was working, you know.
I wouldn't give her a new key.
If you're renting from, like, is it the person you're renting from the responsibility to give you a key, another key? Like, you can just go to Home Depot for $1 and make a copy. Like, it's not the end of the world.
After the illegal lockout. My fact checker are my receipts, but you keep thumping that Bible. Maybe some facts will fall out. And you know what? Let's talk about the lockout. My partner told you they were out of state because they were securing alternate housing for us. They were also accepting a job offer that would have covered what we actually owed before you created damages. You knowingly locked me and our dog, Sir Dontarius Dontenada of the Greybeard regime, out in the dead of winter. Here's the temperature for that night, by the way. And you called it a walkthrough. Okay. To the people who will inevitably still ask, why didn't you just pay rent? Why don't you just go to hell? This commenter says it's a great comfort to know that your actions come because of the absolutely horrible starting role life gave you. That people who don't come from wealth deserve to stay struggling. Well, I don't want even these people to be struggling, but I'll be goddamned if you think I'm going to allow them to continue to lie unchecked. Also, Jordan, I posted this silly little video as a test to see A, how many people would just instantly believe that, and B, whether you would try to claim damages for leaving anything behind in the home. So about $1,000 for cleaning, I guess. But I also know you have to take reasonable measures for loss prevention, so I'm going to see if you blew the expenses way up too by comparing pricing with other cleaning and junk removal services. Because I know what was actually left behind, and I have a history with you enough to know better. Ma'am, it is not my fault you got knocked up 6 times and now have that many mouths to feed. Apparently your ex-husband has some stories. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to file an affidavit attesting to my evidence, and even if you try to keep me out of court, Judge Simpson will still have everything you're attempting to suppress from me. Babe. Last word for Taversia, you poor on flops. Let it haunt!
It's insufferable. If she just paid her goddamn rent every month on time, none of this would be happening.
Yep.
None of it. Very simple.
Yeah, she is a... The actual fuck was that? And only has that one dress, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so... let's see. So we're going to go to the first part of the hearing.
You need to get down here now.
Okay.
How long is it going to take you?
About 30 minutes.
You've got 20.
No, this isn't... I'm sorry.
Lepic.
Okay, here we go.
Jared
let's get rid of it.
Lepic versus Andrew Elliott.
I have seen no evidence one way or another. She talks about the partner quite a bit. Supposedly the partner has been sick, and she's talked about that on TikTok. I've never seen any evidence they do exist. So, I mean, I won't say they don't, but I would like to know.
Yes, I'm here.
Aw. So this is today, this morning. We got our Queen Taversia Borelli in the top
She was going
right.
to turn up.
She did turn up.
No, in person.
Well, there is that too. Sorry, guys.
And Jordan too. I thought they were both going to turn up in person.
Well, they hired a lawyer. The plaintiffs hired a lawyer. So... they are just going to let the lawyer handle it for them. As far as the defendants, like Taversia, she should have probably shown up, but she was dismissed. The boyfriend or partner, life partner, whatever, should have been on Zoom, but he was working. She'll get into that. That's the plaintiff's lawyer on the top left.
Okay.
And are Elliott and Burrell. Are they here?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Why aren't they here?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Ms. Burrell was dismissed.
Okay, so the top middle is Jordan Lepic, and Jared Lepic is her husband, and he's at the bottom right.
Yeah.
So those two are the plaintiffs, plaintiff one and plaintiff two.
Gotcha.
Taversia Borelli is is defendant two.
Yep.
Who was dismissed, but she still shows up. And defendant one, her partner, is missing.
Party and she's not a lawyer.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
I have evidence. I didn't know whether I was still allowed to appear in person as a result of the notice to have me dismissed. My partner is not able to get off work, but I have evidence for the court in defense of
Well, I
my
can't,
partner.
ma'am, I see now the notice of dismissal. You've been dismissed from the case. He's not here. He needs to be here.
Understood. I've been messaging with my partner to see if they can do something to make it. On the meantime, I do have evidence that I have been given that I can put forward.
Good catch.
No.
He needs to be here.
Okay.
Listen.
If not, I'm going to default him because he needs to be here.
Understood.
When is he going to get here?
I don't know. Again, my partner is in the middle of work, doing everything that can be done to be present.
What? Just to be fair to each side,
This
I
is
give him 20
ridiculous.
minutes. He's got to be here. If not, I'm defaulting him. Will that work for you, Mr. Lloyd?
20 minutes it is, Your Honor.
All right.
It'll be 10:15 our time.
Okay, that works.
Does she just love her ears?
The defendant and
Scott, Ms. Kim's
Mr. Fan.
Yeah.
Ms. Kim, were you?
This is great.
So that's the last of Taversia that we see, unfortunately.
Oh, well, what a shame.
I am hoping she uploads a TikTok video, though. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But we do have the follow-up to that, so we'll play that a little bit.
That is by default for possession, no redemption amount, writ to issue 10 days, and I've signed it, Judge. Thank you. Lepic versus Andrew Elliott.
Yes, here.
That's Mr. Lepic, right?
Yes. Your Honor, I'm appearing on behalf of.
So, hang on, what's going on now?
Elliott.
Oh, this is the... Oh, they gave her to get her... They gave her like 20 minutes
Yeah.
to get her boyfriend's ass on Zoom.
Yep.
It's like an hour later.
Uh-huh.
Or like 40 minutes later.
Yeah.
So he gave them extra time that he never shows up. So this is the 40 minutes later, what the result or what they do
okay.
next.
Yep. Sweet.
So we kind of find out what happens here.
Yep.
No response. Would you like to take a default? I gave you. All right, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, your claims.
Your Honor, there's doing already right now about 15,000. There is factory water bill that hasn't been paid in the amount of 584. There is a question, Your Honor, about late payment charges, and if you want, I can address those. The court had commented on in the last hearing, and because of the amount of late.
Yes, and they were rather large.
Might I make a pitch?
Certainly.
Your Honor, what's going on in this case, I agree, as a purely landlord-tenant case, the amount of late payment penalties is large. But in the context of the sale of the real property based out of earnest money and late performance of a purchase agreement, the amount is perfectly normal. I mean, I'm told that this was a $700,000 home. It sold from the performance over 2% of earnest money. And so in terms of a good faith attempt for the parties to establish a number that could reflect the consequences of the default, I think the late payment charge is large, but not unconscionable. I don't know what the standard of
I think it is, well, I would say that the late fees are unconscionable, and also the late fees can't be liquidated damages. In the scenario you put up, they could be in a certain respect. In this instance, the late fees have to be related to the landlord's ability to collect rent in some reasonable amount. So I would not allow them. If you want a hearing on that, you show it to me, then.
I see it a different way. In the context, I think I am less shocked because I see 2% would be a typical earnest money deposit. This is less than that. But in the context of monthly rent payments, I'm not going to make that argument. Your Honor, there is now, we have an not earnest money, a security deposit that I want to be applied. I've got damages of $15,584. We'd like to apply the security deposit of $8,550, and what we'd like is a judgment in the amount of $7,034. I don't have my costs.
7,000.
034.60. Now that's the net judgment.
Oh, lawyers can do that.
Applications.
After application, and I have a judgment for the.
So here's what I would do. I would take your total, make it clear under the further orders provision that the court is permitting this security deposit to be deducted since they vacated the premises, so that the full judgment is actually the full amount, and then the security deposit being deducted, so that we don't have, because I think there's going to be a problem if we do it the other way.
I have prepared a form, if you can see. Let me fill it out. I'll offer to the court and put that right.
All right. And your court costs in this case, I have 130. I don't.
Process serving 75.
I have the process serving. I have a 0 service fee on both. I have no service fee. Okay.
So that would be us 205, I believe. And
yes, 205.
I will present it.
All right. Thank you. Oh, the whole this attorney gets into. All right. Is that?
So that's it.
Yeah, they still got to get the money out of them yet.
Yes.
God, so frustrating. Because I mean, their own homes being on a 90-day foreclosure,
Yeah.
and or is it their home or is it the home that, like the home that was renting out?
It's their home. They were renting to Taversia.
Right. So it's the house in question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I wonder if they can go to the bank and go, look, we've got this judgment for however much, 15,000 or whatever. Can you stop the foreclosure because these people owe us money?
I don't know. It would probably need to re-rent it fast to get some money to start paying the foreclosure. It depends on the state. The banks don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about banks in the US. Generally, like here, if you've got, it depends how long you've been not paying.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can show them that you've been to court and these people owe you money, they might give you a little bit more time. But geez, it's a shit situation.
I know, right?
It's a shit situation.
I know, yeah.
But
So,
yeah, they deserve everything they got.
yeah. They are really insufferable. I'm going to end now. I
Or
think.
sell the judgment to a collection place. Good idea.
Yeah, although you probably get maybe 30 or 40%.
Yeah, but still, I mean, I don't think they've got much chance, Joe Nemeth. I don't think they got much chance of getting the whole amount out of these people.
No, probably not. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. So very soon, Sean is going live because you know what's happening. Oh, hang on. ASAP Rocky verdict.
Yes.
Yes, here we go. Got it.
Does he have it up yet?
Yep.
Oh, finally. I just checked. I'm going to redirect y'all to potentially criminal Sean. He's covering the verdict of the ASAP Rocky trial.
Yep, and it's going to be read out at 4
20
p.m.
minutes.
California time, whatever PT is.
20 minutes.
Yeah, which is 20 minutes away.
Yep.
Here you go. Got it?
Finally, yeah. I'll redirect y'all over there.
Yo.
Tomorrow I'll be back at 10 a.m. Eastern for more Judge Fleischer. So we'll be streaming that. And then I'll send you guys over now to potentially criminal Sean, a good friend. Do you have anything tomorrow?
I have to work tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe I might try and do something before I go to work. But P.S. Judge Gall's a bitch.
Yes.
And she has just gone, denied.
I think she did leave room for McLeland to respond for she
allowed, yeah. She was like, okay, but my friend Nick,
Yeah.
he can respond, but apart from that, denied.
Yeah.
Just denied, and no reason. Just
No.
denied. Like no big 10-page written response. Nothing. Just denied.
Yep.
All those arguments back and forth. All those documents that we've been looking at for the last few weeks, and denied.
Yep.
Good old Franny.
All right, guys, I'm going to end now, and I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. All right, bye. Oh,
Bye.
end stream, not leave studio. Thanks for